And honestly, I thought that I was selling the best sex on the planet until I had in love with sex.
Oh,
It means
right.
something different.
Right.
Yeah, so now
Feels
I
different.
got that for sale too.
That for sale. That's hilarious.
Hi, I'm Stacy.
And I am Mark, and this is the Gurus and Game Changers podcast. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a fun episode. Today's guest is a highly decorated veteran of the United States Air Force. She's an anti-terrorism expert. She was an air-based ground defense instructor. She would take out a squadron of 44 or 40 soldiers and teach them, for instance, how to defend a runway.
Badass.
When she was serving. And when she served with pride, just like her father before her. And for her service, she got a meritorious service medal. But that is not likely how you know her, because she became a household name for a different kind of service. She was named, our guest was named, one of the top 25 most famous prostitutes in all the world in all time, from throughout history. That's who we're talking to today. Our guest is Air Force Amy. She is the star of HBO's Cat House, the series, if you remember that. And she has been a long-time top earner at the world-famous Nevada brothels like the Bunny Ranch, the Chicken Ranch, and the Mustang Ranch. And in fact, MSNBC at one point called her a living legend in the world of sex. But along the way, she has, in her words, changed this game, changed her profession from one of guilt and shame to power and fame. And that changed the game. Oh, did you like that?
Wow.
That changed the game. And that's what we're here for, to
Yeah.
make her a perfect guest for us here at Gurus and Game Changers. And on top of it, she's super cool, super sweetheart of a person, super fun to talk to. And from what I hear, she even played a very elegant Mrs. Claus for her community during the holidays. So Air Force Amy, welcome to the show, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you.
We are
Guru.
so excited to
great.
have you. Okay, so just getting right into it. So I read that at age 13 you left home. Why did that happen? Why did you feel like the need to leave home at that young of an age?
Well, it was a pretty dysfunctional family. So there was alcoholism, incest, all kinds of things, and there was just this double standard. My brothers could get away with like smoking and things like that, and raping me.
Oh my.
Okay. And I couldn't smoke a cigarette, and I didn't like that. I thought that was really, and I just said I gotta get out of here. I just left. Things were kind of crashing down on me. I mean,
Sure.
I started to act out in school, so I was doing, skipping school, and my grades were falling, and I mean, it was going to come to a head, and I was like, I gotta Splitsville, man. I gotta go.
Where did
I'm
you
gonna
go?
Yeah, where would you go
yeah.
at 13?
I hitchhiked around the country.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I just got in a big. I don't know what made. I can't tell you today what made me think to get into a big wheeler or an 18 wheeler as opposed to, hitchhiking in cars. Like that would have been okay, like maybe in the 60s,
Yeah.
but this is the 80s. So I don't, and I felt really safe. I was like in this underground community of truckers.
Can I ask you a quick question? I was confused by this. So I want to make sure I understood. You were shamed and blamed when that happened to you?
Yeah, shamed and blamed and threw out with the bathwater, man.
And so you had no choice but to leave because nobody came to your aid.
It's never going to get any better.
Wow. I'm
You
sorry I
know?
went through that.
It's okay because
Yeah.
you know what? Everything that has happened to me
Yeah.
has elevated.
Yeah.
It put me on a different. Because I couldn't imagine having to stay home with those people the rest of my.
Yeah.
But you were 13. Like, did you say to yourself, okay, like I'm gonna get out of here? Like, what? Like, how did you even know to leave? Like, some kids are just so entrenched in their
Right.
families.
I mean, it's a really
you
brave,
need-
scary thing to do.
The shit beat out of you enough. You're gonna get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to get beat again? You're gonna fucking leave.
Got it.
I was gonna go to Studio 54.
That's where you were headed?
That's where I was headed. I took my mom. Yes.
I love it.
So he was a little bag and hit the road, right? Oh my God.
Not exactly a safe place for a 13-year-old.
No. The first trucker you went up to, were you scared? Like, or did you just say, I want to jump in your cab, and you were totally fine with it?
I guess I'm just, yeah. Well, you know what? And that night, okay, my dad had spoiled. Well, here's what happened. I left with my girlfriend, I forget her name, but we both left. And we're on this freeway, and there's these snowbanks, and the cop was going by, and we ran to the other side of the freeway, And the cop comes back this time. They finally they got us and corralled us, and they're like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "Back to college, Kent State University." You
At
know?
13.
They're like, "Really? What dormitory are you staying?" I said, "My brother's dormitory." "Oh, such and such." And they're like, "That's an all male dormitory. Get in the car."
Uh,
Dang it.
Take us to jail. And don't call my dad. Oh my
how
God,
did
call
you
my
go to
dad.
jail? Wow.
Midnight. Okay. And my dad comes down and I'm just like, just keep me. This man's gonna fucking kill me. Just keep me in the jail. And they sent me home with him and he wailed on me, man. He had like these suede gloves and I'm on this cement porch and he's just
Oh my.
this is what you want. This is what's gonna happen. You know, and it's just then I went back after that. I was like, that's it. And it was during that time of it was during the trucker strike and Smokey and the Bandit, you know, it was like convoy
Yeah.
trucks, 100 trucks rolling down the road. And it was kind of really cool. It was like it's a subculture. And I was kind of safe there. I work in the truck stops now because I wanted to have my own money in my own pocket and be able to say, pick which truck I was going to get into, the biggest, prettiest truck, coolest guy. So I can really I have an intuition where I can, size up a situation instantaneously, because of that kind
Yeah.
of the past I had. But yeah, so work in the truck stops, that was a different story. You're moving in on another girl's territory, and it was the most frightening experience of my life. I mean,
Oh, what do you mean?
at night in these truck stops, and just you don't know if you're going to get jumped by the other girls working there, and there'd be these stories about girls getting gapped and hung in reefers or freezers, and it was the most frightening thing I ever did in my entire life.
How,
And some of these places they had helicopters, circling the truck stop looking for bad guys, and you always had the security trying to get you in. And I was, I was underage. I would have been sent to
yeah.
juvie.
Yeah.
So it was just absolutely just frightening for several years. But it was also very freeing too. It was very. I mean, I remember sitting on the low on the dash between the driver's seat and my seat, making sandwiches and listening to the radio and just cruising down the road. Man, it was really it was great.
That can harden, so it will harden anybody from the age of 13 to 18, I think you were. Joining the service should harden you, right? That's what part of the mantra, I guess, of the service is to make you a warrior. Those two experiences, or any other, has one really kind of defined how you've moved forward in your career? Has one given you more strength than the other?
I would say the military
Yeah.
because it showed me how to work in a business environment, going up my chain of command, and how to deal with people
Okay.
and how to relate at all levels. That's what that taught
Yeah.
me. Maybe just even just getting out there on my own at 13 and just jumping in a truck, you know, and put myself out there helped me relate at all levels. And just coming from a dysfunctional family and being judged and thrown out with the bathwater gave me compassion for other people. I
Interesting.
was called names. I was called names and just abused. And I know how it feels. And so to be the underdog, to be the person that I was never the prettiest girl in lineup. I'm a champion for the underdog because I felt like I was always the underdog.
I just want to. Sorry, you've talked about your dad, but what about your mother? Like, what did your
Question.
mom say? Were you gonna ask the same thing?
No, it's a good. It's a
Like
great question.
what did she say? Like, I can't imagine
She
my
was
baby,
always
my
like,
baby
she always,
leaving.
to this day, she's just like, you kids were bad.
All of you.
You had 5 kids, and my dad was an alcoholic, a philanderer, and so it's just her life was just pretty
Chaos.
much sucked, I'd say. 5 kids and a piece of shit husband. She's just like, you kids were bad. But
Just
what?
surviving and thriving.
It made me the most self-sufficient person.
So that's when you made the decision that you wanted to do prostitution at that point, or like what? Like, was there a cognitive decision, like this is what I'm going to do, or did it just sort of happen?
I think they call that survival prostitution.
Right.
Right. You need to eat.
Right.
Right.
So,
Right.
but here I am going across Highway 80, Interstate 80, and you hear these girls on the CB calling out, "Hey, Mister," and the drivers were telling me, "Yeah, those are beautiful women. It's a palace of like 50 with the most beautiful women you ever saw in your life that work in as like prostitutes. I'm like, indoors? I don't want to go there. I want to go there. Yeah. Right. So that was the Mustang Ranch I heard him catcalling from. And it just was always in the back of my mind. But then I joined the military, right? I joined the military. I got my GED and I joined the military. And I got stationed at Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas. And I asked for a reenlistment bonus or to cross train me. And that was like, they had to do that, but they wouldn't cross train me because I was too highly trained and they wouldn't give me reenlistment. I'm fine. I'm going down to the brothels because otherwise I'm going to be carrying a gun for a living. I mean,
Right.
with my training that I had, I could either be a cop or prison guard or, and I wanted to wear pretty clothes. All right, I had all these clothes made for me in the Philippines to come to Las Vegas. And I was just like, I wanted the shoes and the clothes and the glamour. And it's fine. I'll go down to the chicken ranch.
So you were in the Air Force and you said to them, like, hey, I want to be cross-trained. I want to do this. I want to do that. I don't want to end up wearing like a military uniform. And they said, no, sorry, you can't be. And then that's when you were like, I'm out.
Watch me. An ultimatum got me into the Air Force and an ultimatum got me into me and my ultimatums, right? I'm careful not to make any ultimatums.
Noted.
But I mean, both of them were really good ultimatums, the good decisions that happened. I'm just super, super, super pleased with how my life turned out.
Yeah.
How does one get into one of these brothels? I'm sure there's a significant amount of competition, right? A lot of people want to have that type of lifestyle.
You just apply. They all have the websites have a link that there's like be a buddy or join our team, and you just fill out the form and send pictures and interview. And
I think I read that you were 23 when you went to the chicken ranch. Is that true? You were 23.
Yeah.
And then, so like, do you remember your first day? Like, what was that like? And was that the time when you said, okay, I'm Air Force Amy, I'm not Deanne? Like, when did you make that name switch?
No, they gave me the name of Susie.
Oh, interesting.
Susie.
You probably didn't like that, right?
I didn't, I was just,
Whatever.
okay. It was a lot of conditioning and compliancy. You had to comply to all these rules. There was a massive amount of rules, and it was to keep you from stealing and to keep you from getting, causing chaos between the other girls and to keep you from making yourself stand out too much. And it was just a lot of rules is what I remember. And bouncing off the walls with rules constantly, and to get with the client was finally like, wow, respite,
Right.
The place you're working
Finally.
for and the people you're working with is just like, it's just, you're bouncing off the walls, but you get to spend an hour with the client and that's like, wow, I can relax, have a good time. If they got their money, we're cool. Let's just make this last.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you're there for, right? So don't deal with the politics and all the management and all that. You just
I
Right.
can imagine.
you want to do your job.
But it didn't even the first year though. It was a lot of, you want me to do what?
And you're not talking about like what with your clients. You're talking about just
No, with the clients too, as well.
Oh.
oh, they wanted you to do weird stuff.
You kind of get hazed when you're brand new. You get hazed. You get
Oh.
these guys. I'm gonna
Interesting.
piss out of you. You're going, what?
From an outsider's perspective, everybody would think that men would go there with the kinkiest of requests or the craziest things could happen in there, but at an elevated level because it is a professional environment, right? But I remember you saying on somewhere during the research that everyone who walks in that door just wants somebody to be nice to them.
Yeah.
Talk
yeah.
about that side of it, because it's not necessarily just a roll in hay or whatever. It's not just
Yeah.
let's get down and dirty. It's I want
more to it.
someone to connect with.
Yeah, there's more to it.
Yeah. It used to be, I mean, to me, in my mindset, it was like, well, when I worked at the Mustang Ranch, there was 50 girls and then 500 people walked through that door a day. And you could be
Wow.
doing, $20, $100 parties,
Sure.
And yeah, there's an art to that.
Yeah, I'll bet.
But so you didn't have a lot of time to connect. And as the industry progressed and matured, as I matured, then it became more of an experience than as a roll in the hay and a connection. At first we weren't allowed to have anybody's information and not stay in contact with them. And now it's more like I'm an insurance agent and I do keep in contact with people and I'm massage and molding and stay in contact with my clients. My mantra is, it's sales. It's all sales.
Yeah.
All anyone really, really, really wants is a good deal and someone to be nice to them, no matter what you're selling. right?
Yeah.
So just be nice, and it drives me up a wall what you see on social media where people just can't be nice. What's so hard about that? You could be the only smile that person sees in a week or in a month, in a year. You could be the only person that's kind to this person their entire life. They don't. It's a cold, hard world out there
Amen.
sometimes,
Yeah.
and
I love
especially
that.
for and especially for men that you know women just seem so unobtainable, and they want such high standards. After meeting me, I want you to walk away, on air. I want you to just be like that. I feel really good about myself because I met that person. I'm happy with the guys that I see. I develop little relationships, and maybe it's an hour, maybe just an overnight every couple of years or once a year.
Yeah.
But and a lot of time, I'm just a springboard for most
Right.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Have you
Just
had long-term relationships? Like, have you ever had a boyfriend for a while, and what would he think of what you're doing? Was you have to be cool with it?
Well, I never thought that I could because, I just never did for like 30 years. But during quarantine, I thought, the governor had us shut down for 14 months. And I went on to like match.com at month 8 or 9. And I met someone and I felt madly in love.
Oh,
Madly, madly, madly in love. Like, oh, love songs make sense, all that. And it just was the wrong guy.
It's the wrong guy. You fell in love with the wrong guy.
shoot.
Pretty common, right?
But I know it's possible. So now I'm like, oh my God, that felt so good. And honestly, I thought that I was selling the best sex on the planet until I had in love with sex.
Hmm.
Oh,
It means
right.
something different.
Right.
Yeah. So now
Feels
I
different.
got that to sell too.
That for sale. That's hilarious. I love it. Hey, do you feel like I guess prior to falling in love, maybe you felt like you were missing out on that experience of falling in love, right? Do you feel like you missed out on anything else by choosing this path?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I didn't have children. I disconnected with my family. I'm estranged from my family. So, but I mean, I don't feel that bad about not being connected with my family.
Yeah, sure. The
But I
dynamic.
mean, before I reconnected with my family, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, due to moving a brother with stage 4 cancer, and I really thought I was missing that family connection. There was a hole. I had a big hole. I had a big hole that there was no family. I had no one that really, really, really had my back.
Mm-hmm.
I was alone in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me against the world,
Yeah.
man. And then I connected with my family, and it was like, oh, I'm not missing out that much. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I chose the family that I wanted. I have a family, my hairdresser, her kids, they're my heirs. And the people, like, it's just no secret that I'm a 12 stepper. And that's my family. That's my church.
Yeah.
And, and I'm fulfilled. I'm
I,
really 100% fulfilled and grateful
I was
for
going to
those.
ask you about your dad probably being very proud of you for serving, right? But how did he feel about your decision to
He hates me. He hated me.
What?
even
He hated me.
even way
Over
back,
100.
even way back?
I think I was kind of okay with the family, kind of okayed, accepted when I joined the military. Right? I
Right.
was like, okay, conform to society, you know.
Yeah.
And then after that, here's the thing. All right, when you choose a name as a stage name, in my case, I choose someone that I want to be like.
Right.
Okay, so my dad was always like, Amy's this and Amy's so that, and my sister, right?
Oh,
So I was
okay.
like, I want to be like Amy. So when I took Amy's name, I mean, he blew a fuse, man.
Oh
It was
my
like
God.
forever, ever. Never got forgiven for that.
Yeah.
That was your sister's name. You did it
Stage name.
for a lovely reason. You did it
I
because
know. I want to
you
be like
wanted to be
Amy.
like her. I love the way that you look at life. I really do. Like, I think you just have this really, like, at least it seems to be a positive way of looking at things. Like, when you were young and sex was involved, how did you look at, like, did you just have a different way of looking at sex? Like, no big deal, I'm just going to make money. Like, how do you think your view of sex is different than maybe some other people?
Well, anyone that's been molested or abused or sexually abused or treated the wrong way sexually, I think what I've read is that you lose the sanctity of it. Okay, so the sanctity is gone. And I think America's just way too hung up on it, man. Come on, okay? It's a natural thing. It feels good. It doesn't hurt anybody. Give me a break. Who made this up that it's a bad thing? We know.
Mhm.
We know who did that. Okay. And it's just so untrue to put such a bad light on such a beautiful thing. It's just natural bliss and love. And I mean, if you're not doing it to intentionally or hurt somebody or take advantage of somebody, what's wrong with it, man? What's wrong with it? And that's not how I grew up. I grew up in a good Catholic family, and
I
it
was
was
going to ask you next. Yeah.
the guilt and shame of
Right.
getting caught with my brother. I was thrown out with the bathwater immediately at like the age of 8. So here's the game changer. The label turned into being, I have a mark in history.
Yeah, you do.
you know, I got a mark in the history books, and I'm going to tell that story too. I've got, I'm talking to some I don't know, movie houses or
Whoa.
Yeah.
networks about a lot of stuff that I know, and
Oh, I
about
can't
Big
wait.
expose coming.
yeah, it's gonna be so good. Everyone's like
Can't wait for it.
drooling for it, and it's gonna be
Oh,
my life's work, a drama series. Yeah.
wow. So tell me like one story that you remember that maybe you can tell our audience.
So I'm working at this place called the Cherry Pad, and the guy was just evil, and it was just the worst place on earth to ever work. So this guy comes in, and we know that we can't say no. He's got at least $80. This is 33 years ago. And because when we go out and we do this lineup, the girls line up and we introduce ourselves, and then he chooses the lady, and we're standing there. I could smell the guy from the couch again.
Oh.
I told the next to me, I says, "Who picks me?" You give him a look like, "Don't pick me." He picks me. I take him back to my room. It's just awful. I mean, he
Oh,
crawls outside my room and takes a shower, and he had a minimum, of course, $80. Like, oh my god, I don't want to spend more than 7, 8 minutes with this guy, but 10 minutes later, nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. He says, "Would you like me to go out to my truck and get and something I didn't understand what it was. He said, I said, "By all means, go get
go get it.
whatever you need." he goes- he comes back in with this blow up pool toy, a dinosaur, and the little dinosaur head is yellow,
Right.
and it's a wraparound pool toy. And I'm like, he wants me to wear this fucking pool toy? And he says, "Well, I'm a long distance truck driver, and I used to use latex dolls, but they got too big and cumbersome and too long to blow up, so I just use the pool toy now." So I mean, everything, it's all fucking makes sense, right?
But see, that attitude that you have, like where you're just like, whatever,
Yeah.
like,
Unapologetically
where does that come from?
carefree.
Because there's so many people who are so uptight. Like, what's
Yeah.
your advice for
I
those people?
understand why people are so uptight. I don't get it. I don't get it. Where do you come from? Where does this come from? Is it your religion, your spirituality, your upbringing? Who taught you to be like this, so judgmental? And
Yeah.
especially like trolls on social media. Where did you come up with that? How could you even think of saying something so cruel to somebody else? It's just people are people. People are people. They're like cats. Cats are going to do anything they want whenever they want. You can entice them with a treat, maybe get them, but they're still going to do whatever they want. People are like cats. They're going to do whatever they want. And you still got to love them.
Right. And
You
don't
still
try to
gotta-
fight it. Yeah.
Love that.
I heard you say at some point, I think you said, like, I don't get picked out of the lineup that often, but I don't need to.
No,
Right.
I don't. I wish I could say I don't need to, but I don't get picked out. I used to get picked when I was younger. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I got picked. And what it is I have a fixation with the mirror. I used to have one place that we lined up in front of a mirror, and when I can see myself pose,
Yeah.
then I'm getting picked. But if I can't see myself, then I still do that with photo shoots today. I take a mirror on set.
Interesting.
I'm just too self-conscious. But if I see that pose and I got it, bam, you got it. But yeah, I don't get picked out of the lineup anymore. I'm more like filler.
But you have a really high, like, repeat customer rate, right?
Yeah,
Really
I
high
have
retention.
Yeah, you know what? If they allow me, I'm a friend for life.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get paid to go away. You know,
Oh, interesting.
What does
Get paid
that
to go
mean? What do
away.
you mean?
As much as we get paid to stay, we get paid to go away. So if a gentleman just wants to have just try one thing, one time thing, and you love him to death, and you'd love to see him again and again and again. But you know what? You didn't want to have, that's it, one
That
and
was it.
done.
Done.
And you have to respect that.
Yeah.
I got paid to go away. Get it. Good luck.
Are the other girls in the lineup really competitive? Like, do they do like,
Or one big family.
are you one big family?
I can't read their minds,
Yeah.
but I can feel it sometimes.
Right.
You
Yeah,
feel the
they're
daggers
serious,
in your back when you
they're
get picked.
serious about these
Yeah.
lineups.
Yeah.
That has
You
to be
know?
so weird. I can't imagine like standing there just waiting to see if someone's going to rate me the best of all the rest of the girls. Like what, how do you get your brain to like, just be like, it's cool. Like, I'm just gonna, if I don't get picked, I don't get picked. Like, is that how, is that just
Me,
your
it's
person?
me. I'm just like I know I'm not going to be picked, but I still have to be like, you know, still believe, because if you don't believe, it's not going to happen. If you want to make $1 million, if you believe you will, you will. If you believe you won't, you won't. So I got to believe. So I
Yeah.
go out there with the same attitude every time.
Sure.
I'm going to get
Bring
picked.
it.
I like,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and a lot of times I do get choosy. So if I'm not really turning it on, it's like, wasn't going to do that anyhow.
Yeah.
So is there another part of that? Like, do you help mentor the younger girls? Like, is there a part of you that like says, okay,
Oh,
don't do that. Like, don't wear that. Like, don't put your hair
No, no,
like,
no, 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 not like that. Not
okay.
like that. No, never, never, never would I say that. It's because it's whatever you believe that you look fabulous in,
Right.
you feel fabulous,
There's your
and you are fabulous.
confidence. Right.
It's all confidence. It's all confidence. It's all, and it's eye connection. What I tell girls, brand new girls about the lineup, that's, you stand, because we're not allowed to draw attention to ourselves. We have to kind of just be, I say, give the guy the look that you would in first grade when you were really hot on somebody, when you were keen on someone in first grade. What was that look? That's,
Mm.
yeah, that's the look you give them, like, you know,
Nice.
yeah.
It's good advice. I'm sure that worked. What is a
Yeah.
common misconception that people have of you or your profession or that industry? Just they have no idea that they got it so wrong.
That we're out to get people, that we're tricksters, that I think prostitutes, whether legal or not, are put on the same level and given the same respect as a drug dealer.
Mhm.
I feel that throughout my whole life when I'm trying to do business with people, and that's right there. It's right there in the forefront. She's a prostitute. And it's like, okay to fuck me over because I fuck people over because I'm a prostitute.
Mhm.
And that couldn't be further from the truth. It couldn't be further from the truth. These women, you got something in your heart. You got to have something in your heart. You can't do it callously. You just can't. You won't last. It's because she's got some pimp riding her in the background,
Right.
telling her to do it that way. Women aren't that way. We're nurturers, and we care about people, and that's all there is to it.
I heard you say on a different show that you provide a service unlike any other, and I'm sure you're referring to physical as well, but you're referring to so much more than that.
Yeah, and we build confidence. We lament. We grieve, teach, comfort, support, encourage,
All those
compliment,
things.
all these things. Otherwise, I mean, you're not going to last. Who's going to come see you? Word of mouth is your best advertising. If a guy has a good experience, if someone has a good experience, they're going to tell one or two people. If they have a bad experience, they're going to tell 20.
Right.
You're just not going to last if you're giving bad experiences.
Sure.
And also, it's legit business. I mean, I listened to your podcast with Bunny, and I was amazed how stringent the parameters are for you guys. Like, to be licensed, you can have no felonies, no charges, tested
Right.
weekly for 5 STDs plus chlamydia, once a month blood drawn for syphilis and AIDS. It's like safer going to the Bunny Ranch than going to a bar.
It is safer to go to any brothel than it is to go to any bar or to see anybody, period. I mean, we're tested for, you just named off all those tests. And yeah. And even so much at the chicken ranch, we don't leave the property so that we're not going home and having sex with our boyfriends or anybody else, or off the, that it's even that much more stringent.
I listen to that and I'm like, wow. I mean, like, people going to bars these days,
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
What would you say to the haters? Like, what if you could like talk to them? Like, what would you tell them?
Why are you hating, man? Have you ever met me? What am I doing to you? And this started way back with Cat House, where people annihilated me. They
Sure.
were just, it was, I mean, they shredded me. And I got to the point, and I was using it at the time. And I thought, you know what? How about I just kill myself? That's what you want? Is that what you want? You just want me to kill myself? Would that make you happy? But thank God I was like, yeah, after I finish this, after I finish that, I'm going to do it.
Well, so
But,
Cat House, that was the HBO series, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I thought they would really see the real picture. And it didn't turn out that way. They just wanted the money.
Or did they see the picture and just decide to present something different?
Ignored it and went for the money.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought that they were just really infringing on me and my space and not
Their
doing us any
benefit.
kind of service.
Yeah.
Coming in here, making money off our backs, that somebody that's already making money and not paying us.
You didn't get paid for that.
Oh, no. And the guys that they had come in got paid, got drinks, got laid. How many of those do you think I'm doing? I was like, zero. Big zero. I'll tell you, when I have a guy that is willing to be on camera, we'll give you something. So everything you see from me is real. I'm like, I'll tell you when I got something. And don't bug me until I do. And just be ready. And so everything you see is real.
So that doesn't sound like it was a good experience.
It was like,
Yeah.
and then it got to where if you didn't want to be on camera, you got sent home.
Wow. Well, because the brothel was making money, right?
You know what? We got put in the living rooms of America.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether they saw what they saw was real or not, it softened the blow, and it made us approachable.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I feel like I know
It
you from that
humanized you.
show. I know that
Right.
wasn't you, really. But I mean, like, I thought that show, showed such a different side in a positive way
Yeah.
of your
Yeah.
profession. You know how these days they have all the online stuff, which I'm sure during COVID you probably had to like rely on some of that. But like the OnlyFans pages and the, foot fetishes, it seems to be more and more prevalent. What's your thoughts on that stuff?
I like the fact that it put the porn industry into the hands of the women that are doing the talent. Okay. But I don't know.
Where are you working now?
I'm at the Chicken Ranch.
You're at the Chicken Ranch.
I did my first tour a week ago, my first 2 weeks. It was amazing.
You
Oh,
love
yeah?
it?
It was amazing.
Why?
There's no bar hustle. There's no parlor hustle. There's not 12 girls sharking on one guy and hating the girl that got him. There's no, you don't have to see anybody. You don't know what anyone else is booking. There's no competition. It's a sisterhood. I mean, I booked every single day. My emails don't ghost me. They give me deposits. I get appointments. It's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I can't believe I worked so hard, so hard on a hamster wheel for 24 years, where it could have been just this easy all on. But everything happens for a reason.
Right.
And I walked away. I booked 6 digits in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Almost 6 digits in one party.
6 digits.
Almost in one party. So if that's not a sign, because God knows how to talk to through me, through money. He knows how to listen.
That's
Take it away
incredible.
Give it to me. I will listen. But yeah, I couldn't be happier, man. I extended my dates. I have more dates I'm going on. I did a photo shoot back in, and it's just, this is the first place I ever worked, and it's just coming full circle, and being in Las Vegas and feeling loved and appreciated in a sisterhood instead of a target for attack.
That's huge. That is so
Well,
huge.
I'm happy for you.
Do you think you'll ever retire? Think you'll ever
No.
hang up your panties?
Hang up the hooker heels. I'm already in flats, so No. They allow me to wear flats, right, if I want to. But I don't know. It's still very lucrative. I mean, extremely lucrative,
Yeah.
right?
Why give it up?
I'm still challenged and valued and having fun. And man, driving away from that place a couple days last week with that, knowing what I did.
Yeah.
And the friends I made while there, the clients that I saw that want to continue to be friends, just amazing, amazing people. Just amazing people.
That sounds like you're at the peak.
The girls have great stories, the guys have great stories, and it's just so fulfilling. It is so fulfilling to do something.
Wow.
The best thing that a former drug addict, alcoholic can do is get out of themselves and into others. And there's not a better way to do that than this, besides some other things that I do in the community. But get out of yourself and into others, and the best job you could ever have.
That's
And
wonderful.
plus, sex is good. I still love sex.
Oh, there it is.
I love you. Is there anything you want to put out there?
Let's just promote anti-bully on the internet.
Yes,
There
please.
you go.
Let's do that. Let's just say, why don't you take a day and be like, say something kind. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Okay? Come
love
on,
it.
man.
I love that you're the first person to answer that question with sort of a general call for people to be nice.
Giving to others.
Let's
like,
promote some goodness.
it says so much about you.
Yeah.
Really, Dan.
it.
Like, that's just beautiful.
And there's your cat.
Yeah.
So this has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been enlightening. It's a cool look behind the curtain, and with a cool person. Of course, I said that in the intro. So thank you so much for spending the time with us.
Just want to hang out with
You're
you.
welcome.
You're awesome.
If they wanted to do something, like go to my OnlyFans,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
support the uni.
You are a pleasure. I enjoyed this so
That's
much.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you
Take
guys
care.
so much. Thank you. Check me out at
Thank you.
chickenranch.com. Okay.
Find you.